What is up, guys? How are you doing? So today's intro is going to be slightly longer than the rest. I just want to say a quick thank you to Future Cities Catapult for inviting us to Smart Cities last week. It was a genuinely good experience, and the full 2 days were amazing. This video in particular was filmed with Fergie Miller. He's the Smart Cities lead in the UK for EIT Digital. They organised all of the startup events, and the startups were really cool as well. And you know what? We had this really nice chat, and we just kind of really got on. It was right at the end of day 2. It's literally the last thing we filmed, but you know, we had our spirits high, and it was really nice. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Turn in.
There we are. Hello and welcome to whatever the TV show we're going to pretend this is.
All for Us TV.
Yeah.
Smart City UK TV.
This is Chelsea
TV.
Yeah, this is Chelsea TV with your hosts George and Fergie, and this is going to go very well. That's
live 2nd of February
from Stamford Bridge itself, the real Stamford Bridge.
North Stand.
I don't actually know. It's a stand. It's
John Terry stand.
It's the only stand here at Stamford Bridge.
Mourinho stand.
The only important stand. The only important one.
Yeah.
And that's it, we're done.
Great.
So,
come on, you Gunners.
I apologise in advance for the result on Saturday.
Yeah, I apologise to the hybrid faithful. It wasn't very good.
So, we're here at Smart City UK, and it's been an interesting 2 days. Were you here yesterday?
I was just here today, George.
So first of all, quick overview. How was the day? How? I mean, there were loads of people here. What did you think?
I came to Smart Cities UK. I came to Smart Cities UK last year. This event just gets better and better. I love the way that All for Us organise it. They bring a great crowd together, some fantastic cities, some fantastic service providers. At EIT Digital, we've been doing a lot of work bringing the startups along today and organising a pitch session and a speed networking session and the startup zone. Been talking non-stop. I think that's a sign of a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, but there's been a sort of elevator pitching session. Each startup was given 3 minutes, I want to say, was it?
We tried to give them 3 minutes. It's very hard to get startups off stage once they get up there.
They're very much like kids. Once they start talking, they never stop.
That's right. But no, we had 5 great startups. Changeify, which do civic engagement. Joyride, which are doing a lot of data around bike sharing. Inquiring Minds is a big data platform. Strawberry Energy do fantastic urban design. They have got some benches. Well, more than that, they've got smart benches and a whole suite of design products that they're rolling out across London at the moment. And Air Public, which are doing some data work around environmental censoring and air quality control, piloting in London to start with. So we had a really interesting group of startups pitching. We were running late. We finished 35 minutes late for lunch, and the audience was still engaged at the end. I think that's a pretty good sign.
That's how you know it went well then, yeah. I think it's definitely difficult, especially when you have sort of the unknown of sort of startups pitching something. At least when you have sort of if you have someone booked for a 20-minute slot, you can tell them to go away after 20 minutes. When you have sort of 5 different startups, it's very hard to keep them within check in terms of time. And it's good that even though they went on for longer than they kind of should have, people were still engaged and they still found it interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice... I think a pitching session is a really great way to introduce innovations to municipalities and their service providers. Not only are they learning about how people are addressing new challenges and the problems that exist and creating opportunities, but it's a sort of human way of telling their story as well. They're all trying to build a business. It's David against Goliath, and every day they go out and put their wits on the line to try and get these innovations to market, to make the cities that we live in safer, cleaner, more enjoyable to live in. And the whole pitch session just works really well.
So, as you mentioned, there were 5 separate startups. Do you want to tell the audience at home how that went? So the winner and
yes, it was obviously very hard to choose between the five. I thought all five were excellent. We actually awarded the prize, which was a £700 prize, which All For Us very kindly put up, to Changeify. We just felt Priya, the work that she's been doing in London, in Shanghai, the way that she's using crowdsourcing and civic engagement to try and create movements within municipalities and neighbourhoods that we live to address the changes and the problems that are being highlighted by its citizens, was just something that is very unique. And she made she is very compelling in the way that she presents herself and the way that she presents the business. And so yeah, we went with Changeify, but it could have been any one of them, to be honest.
Yeah. So we were just speaking to Joyride, and they are all very good. You can tell they're very committed to what they're doing, and they know what they're talking about. And it's one of those things where, when you have a competition, sometimes you say it's a shame that only one can win. And I think this was definitely one of those occasions where any one of the five could have won it.
Yeah, very much so. And it wasn't just the 5 startups that pitched. We also worked with the event organisers in the lead up to the event to bring along a community of about 20 startups in smart cities and intelligent mobility. So they were around the room meeting stakeholders in smart cities, and we, in the speed networking session that we organised, made some great connections. So there's tons of fantastic innovations coming through, and that's what's so good about events like the event. Events like today is it gives these innovators an opportunity to get out from behind the desk, to go out and meet people that are dealing with the reality of the challenges that cities face. You're always hearing in the news about budget cuts, things that go wrong. So the problems that we face are very real. They affect people's lives, and these innovators are passionate about solving that. So getting them in a room with the people that are managing those problems every day is something that's really great.
Perfect. So there were 5 startups here who were presenting, but to apply, you just had to go online, and there was the website set up. I forget what the website was. It was smartcitiesuk.co.uk/
I think smartcities.com.
And so the question was, how many people applied for that?
Sure. Well, this is the first time that we've run the pitching session at Smart Cities UK. I'm already super excited about next year. Having Joyride, who just came out of the Startup Bootcamp IoT and Connected Device Accelerator, to be here today, I think is great. I'm sure there's tons more startups coming through that we hope we can engage around the event next year. But we ran a sort of streamlined marketing and outreach program to source startups for the event today. We went out through our channel partners, the Future Cities Catapult, Canary Wharf, some of the other meetups and smart city communities around London, and asked for put out a call for applications, and then we had an internal process with the event organisers and filtered out which ones we thought would be the best for pitching. Again, that process was not an easy process. There's some fantastic innovations out there, from very early stage to more mature products. But it's part of what we do at EIT Digital. We're a pan-European startup accelerator. I work on the smart cities and urban mobility portfolio, and creating opportunities and building ecosystems around events like this is part of what we do.
So do you think sort of 10 years from now, London will be a much smarter city than it is today?
I think smart cities as a thematic focus has some very real challenges, not just around the stuff that you read in the newspapers, but cities do not, constantly having their budgets cut. For an innovator to to develop a successful business model in that environment is very challenging. They need to take away upfront friction and upfront costs, and have the time for their innovation to come through and deliver real value, either saving money, making money, or improving experiences, and then sharing in that benefit with cities. And that is nowhere more real than in London. There's lots of innovations coming through. Adoption is picking up. It is no doubt that cities are increasingly getting smart. You can see that by all in our everyday lives. The sooner the better. I would certainly say in 10 years London is smarter than it is now. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like towards the end of my lifetime. I think it'll be completely different to what we expect.
And what's your... obviously you've seen a lot of startups, both here and just sort of, over the last few years, just startups in general. What's the advice you'd give in terms of sort of, pitfalls that they should aim to avoid, or if there's any sort of advice? Just what do you think that if there's someone out there who's about to start a startup or who is part of a startup, what would you give them as advice?
I mean, stakeholders in the startup industry will always talk about team, always talk about product, always talk about market opportunity. You have to get those three things right. I think being very diligent to your methodology and the processes you employ lead to faster, more efficient, more productive innovation. Obviously lean, which has been jumped on by the startup community, lean methodology, which was pioneered by Toyota in the 1980s, is a great approach to do that. I think it's also it's very important to be happy when you do your work. You are your greatest asset as a founder. You are your company's greatest asset, greatest resort. A bit like how a sportsman conditions themselves, looks at performance management. I think that's very important. And sometimes people miss that. They think burning the candle late into the night leads to better work. And my opinion is it doesn't. You've got to approach this like an athlete approaches their discipline, and really look at optimizing the impact that you can make. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
It was nice having a fun conversation with you. Is there sort of any website or anything you want to...
Yeah, EITdigital.eu. We help startups scale across Europe. We help them raise 1 to 10 million. We have a team of 50 to 80 people across 10 offices in Europe to facilitate that and help you access other member states and those markets. Look us up.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.